welcome back to the channel. As per the title, I've sold my Chevrolet Corvette, but rather than just a best bits compilation, I wanted to link and compare it to the time that I spent in the Lotus Emira. So I'm linking up with a good friend of mine, Rumi, at Adplac Hair Studios, who's hopefully going to give me a trim on his day off. He's spent a bit of time in both cars, hasn't he? Back. Yes. Thanks again for fitting me in.
No problem, mate.
Got me fresh to death. Yeah, appreciate it. I need to sort this chair out.
Yeah, go on, make yourself right at home, though.
Always do. Is this Devontae's chair, is it?
Yeah.
If you're watching, I'll fix it, I promise.
I'll make sure of it.
What was that?
I'll make sure of it, Devontae, don't worry.
This isn't an interview, as I tell the viewers, and yeah.
Yeah, just a little combo.
Nice little combo.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks again for fitting me in.
No problem, mate. Yeah, so what made you go for the Vet?
What made me go for the Corvette? Well, I never thought I could really get one.
Yeah.
I was always attracted to sort of Corvettes, even when I was young. I used to play Gran Turismo. I think my uncle got me into that, actually. Shout out Howard. And Uncle Howard, yeah. He's in Ibiza living the life.
Yeah.
And yeah, I played Gran Turismo when I was a kid, and I used to remember playing with the second gen, I think it was the C2, the original Stingray, and yeah, I used to love it. You'll see a bit of B-roll here showing it. But yeah, and then I think the sort of, I knew there was a Corvette C8 out. I've obviously sort of seen, second all the way up to sort of the modern day 8, but it's the fact they came in right-hand drive, that's what was a selling point for me, really. So as soon as I saw that, I thought, do you know what? Yeah, I fancy a bit of that, and it was quite a lengthy wait. So.
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking that as well. Never made them in right-hand drive before.
Yeah, I've never even driven any sort of American cars, really. Even, I looked at a Mustang once, but yeah, I never drove it. Just sort of looked at it. I think it was a Bullet, the green one. Love dark green cars, by the way, guys. Absolutely love them.
We all know that he loves them.
We love a dark green car. So I came very close to buying a Bullet. They had none in stock. So instead, I bought an F-Type. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, definitely.
So
you're saying you had a lengthy wait. Like, when did you actually buy the Vet?
So I ordered it in October 21, about 4 months after I put the deposit down for the Emira.
Okay.
So, I saw the Emira, put a deposit down. I think it was the 8th of July, I think it was. You probably got that here, 8th of July. First thing in the morning as well, actually. And wasn't sure. Wasn't sure when it was going to arrive. They said the V6s were meant to arrive in summer 22, or sort of April, May, actually.
Yeah.
And
when did you get yours?
Well,
we'll leave that out.
I mean, Lotus customer care must not like me very much, because I can't remember the name of the woman I was dealing with. I think Abby it was. But yeah, I was calling them like daily,
blowing up their line.
Anything, yeah. So it ended up arriving, I think, in February 23.
Okay.
So sort of about a year. Was it February 20? Yeah, last year,
yeah.
So it was about 9 months after, or a year basically.
Yeah. I remember when you picked it up, actually.
Yeah.
But like, what was that? What actually caused the delay? Like, what made it so long?
Well, it's still happening today. It's the chip shortages. So
still affecting cars now.
Yeah, it seems like it, but it actually sort of worked out the timings, because I sort of thought I'd have the Emira for a year, and it ended up being I had it for, I think I got it in February, went straight to Spain. Had some really good times in Spain with my friend Ryan, who had the Supra. So that was sort of like a manual 6-cylinder showdown. Made 3 videos from that. And then I did that, Spa, that was great fun. Then Anglesey, North Coast 500 with you. We've done a couple of road trips, which I'm sure we'll get to. Definitely. And then, I did sort of just under 8,000 miles and thought, probably need to...
Time to change it up.
Yeah, time to change it up. Yeah. But it just worked out perfectly. I mean, they could have arrived in any order. I could have had the Corvette first and then got the Emira.
But you just didn't know timing.
Didn't have a clue, but it worked out well.
And I'm sure when you said like it was kind of good timing for you to be able to sell the car, not because of the car itself, I'm taking it, but more.
No, I've sort of wish I kept it for longer, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I'd love to work, I'd sort of love to drive Lotus product again. I know it's their last sort of ever. Curious to find out what that 4-cylinder drive's like.
Yeah.
I think the 4-cylinder was meant to arrive sort of like 6 months after. I still don't think it's out now.
No?
I think the i4, when I spoke to somebody at Lotus, said it's going to be sort of like May this year. So that would have been almost, 2.5 years after launch or something, or 2 years after launch, which is crazy. But
it's like, you'll think it's going to be kind of like a facelift of the Emira with how long it's taken, but...
Yeah, no, I'd love to have more time in the Emira because it feels like it's so long since I've driven it.
Yeah.
So the Corvette got that in June, and then obviously took it straight away to Italy, France, and all of the road trip you saw in the last few videos. So
sick.
So should we do sort of like a quick fire? I had a lot of people in the comments asking sort of what do you prefer? Keen to hear your thoughts, and I didn't really do too much of it. Obviously, starting this channel, and it takes a while to get used to the filming. Everything's me.
So I'm going to kind of just go through what people have been asking that they would like to see.
Yeah.
So one of the questions is that you said already is, which one do you prefer? From these are the cars from your YouTube journeys, not previous, but just like so far now.
I mean, you'd probably have to break it down a bit more specific than that, I'd imagine. Which one do you prefer? I mean, I've never really been a fan of convertibles, but, that road trip in the summer in the Corvette with the heat, I mean, I think there was like a day where it was like 37 degrees. And, the Emira was a darker colour, black interior, no roof, or no sunroof anyway. So I imagine like the experience would have been different.
Yeah,
the open top experience would have been changed. So I'd say I enjoyed the Emira on the track. I would have liked to have. That's probably a regret I have at the Corvette, not being able to take it away on the track. But
how come you didn't take it on track?
I don't know. There's a couple of reasons really. I mean, one reason why I should have is because there's actually a system where you can put a SIM card. Not a SIM card, sorry, a memory card into the car, and it basically uses those all-round cameras to record it,
that's
like a lap timer. It's great. I didn't even mention it on the channel, but that would have been cool. But I just didn't really get the opportunity. Really, I took it away for, as I said, that long period of time, and I would have liked to. I still feel that there's no way it would have been. Like, the gearbox was great, absolutely great on that. You'd almost take little bits off each car.
Yeah.
The gearbox. I've driven dual clutch before, so I had an M3 for 6 months. Mm-hmm. That was a sort of BMW's DCT.
Yeah.
And that was a great. It was a good car. I didn't take it anywhere in Europe, so I didn't really get the best use out of it. But the gearbox on the Vet was amazing. You can just feel it from the downshift, bop, bop, and it just every time you just feel it. So the gearbox was great. The tech was great. It was nice having cooled seats and a heated steering wheel. So there was little bits on the Vet, but maybe there's the feel in the Emira. I would have liked to have had it on those roads.
Because even myself driving both of them briefly.
Well, put it back to you. What did you think of them?
Like, they both tick boxes in completely different ways. Like, where the Emira, for myself, because I drive a front engine car, the front end felt quite light.
What car do you drive for the
viewers?
I
got a GLA 45. So,
Blue.
You would have seen it in the Scotland road trip.
Yeah, you would have seen it in Scotland, yeah.
So, driving it there, you feel the front end feels a bit light. And maybe to my fear of heights, when I'm driving in the mountain.
I never really noticed it.
Yeah, but you've had quite, like, the Porsche.
Yeah.
Looking back at some cars that you've had, and then you got used to it because you was doing you'd done.
I
quite
did have a Peugeot 106 and a Seat Leon. Let's not paint the picture set the bar too high.
But so that was the only thing. I think the Corvette just felt more. Is it compliant or just like easier to drive on the road? It felt just a bit more comfortable. It felt more like a road car than the Lotus did, and I think on track the Lotus would probably feel.
They're both really rare. That was one thing. And when I had the Lotus, like so many people looked at it and were just sort of like, "What is it?"
Yeah.
It sort of had a bit of 458 about it.
458 front, and then like the back was from one
Yeah,
It was like a baby. It was like a baby Ferrari.
Honestly, the Emira is such a beautiful car, and I didn't really get to record my reaction when it arrived because it was delivered to me.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Corvette, I went to the.
Sorry. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna stop it there because that takes us on to the next question.
Okay, all right.
Which car do you think looks nicer?
Emira.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emira. Yeah. As I said, I in the video when I was picking up the Corvette. I mean, the Corvette's a more expensive car.
Yeah.
I think it's more plush inside. Definitely. I feel that's where you feel like the money's gone. The seats were absolutely brilliant in the Corvette.
It's definitely more of a daily driver than the Lotus.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But again, they were both special cars because people always used to look, you just don't see any Corvettes.
100%.
I reckon I saw 2, and that's for me going up the whole of Europe.
Since you've owned one, I've only seen one. And funny enough, it was in the same colour that your car was in.
Sure it wasn't my car?
You know what, I actually looked at it and I was looking at the reg, I can't remember it now, and I was thinking, was that his old car?
Yeah.
But who knows?
So yeah, I mean, no, the Emira is it's a pretty car, the Emira.
Yeah.
And every time I see one, again, still rare, but every time I see one, I always look at it and sort of try and get the driver's attention. And But yeah, no, I think the Emira is a better looking car, definitely.
Yeah.
The Corvette's striking. It's sort of like, as I said, a bit event. I think I said this in one of my videos. It's a bit sort of Aventador at the front, and then at the back, it's almost like R8. It doesn't really know what it wants to be. But there's, I like the soft door close on the boot. I like the big engine bay in the back.
Yeah.
But no, the Emira is a far prettier car.
I think the Emira's pretty.
It looks more expensive on the outside, and the Corvette feels more expensive on the inside.
100%. I think the Corvette looks more aggressive, and the Emira just looks prettier. Yeah. But it looks like it's built to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. No.
So the next question is...
Huh? That was a long one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Supposed to be quick fire.
Yeah.
So next question that they're asking is, which one do you think sounds the best?
I don't really... Okay. The Emira...
Can I jump in for a second?
Of course you can.
Because you hear them from the inside and I've heard them from the outside.
Yes.
So I think it'll be a good way to kind of split it up to see...
For me, the Corvette definitely sounds better on the inside.
Yeah.
You hear more of the engine. I don't know if it's like putting stuff through the speakers, but it's definitely louder. I could feel it like straight away when I took it to France. I was in northern France and I was going for it, and you just feel it.
I'll tell you what, this engine is a fucking masterpiece. It's not even running, but just listen to it. My goodness.
It's definitely better. The one thing I would say about the Corvette is that from all the footage, the cameras don't seem to pick up that sort of like bassier note at all.
And it's got like a little fluttery sound on gear change. It's not like a DSG fart or a...
Can we say fart on YouTube? Yeah, why not?
Or DSG pop, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't quite that kind of sound, but it's got this fluttery kind of noise when you change the gears. You do hear it through in the inside of the car.
Yeah.
But outside, when you're standing out the car, you definitely hear it. And I didn't catch it too much in the videos.
Yeah, I think the Emira has like a sort of a higher pitch, raspier note. You can tell it's a 6, isn't it? They're both really distinguishable in that respect. Like the Emira is a V6. It sounds like an old school V6. And I actually had an F-Type in a V6 in about 2018, and it sounded great, the Jag V6, but it didn't really go anywhere. This Emira felt. Yeah. But again, the Jaguar is a heavier car. There is probably a comparison somewhere in that, but But the Vette felt like it felt bassy, felt chunky, felt like a bigger, heavier car. Again, another quick one.
So another quick question.
We like cars, guys. We've got here to talk about them, I guess.
100%. So, which one is faster?
Vette.
Yeah.
End of. Well.
So I think I'm going to ask the question in two parts.
Go on.
Straight line speed.
Vette.
Off the dig.
No comparison.
So that's from off the dig.
Any speed, the Corvette was quicker.
Yeah.
But again, like whenever I've looked into Lotuses or spoken to any, like you don't buy a Lotus for straight line speed.
True.
If I did, then I'd probably buy an Exige. One of the later Exiges was like 420 or 430 and a lower weight.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a straight line, different. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. In America, I know there's a deep like European legislation and engine and exhaust differences and so on, but it's like 3.5 or 2.9 to 60, and the Emira's like 4.3. So it's just a different.
So I know sometimes when they check the 0 to 60 times in America, quote me if I'm wrong, they do it from a 2 mile an hour roll on.
Oh, really? Interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, that.
Because I know, like, what I have heard, like, on the Tesla,
Yeah.
it's from, like, a 2 mile an hour roll. So, obviously, it just kind of helps with the traction.
Got you.
But I don't know if they could set up roll and launch for a 2 mile an hour roll, if it would work or not. So, I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong, or let Bo know if I'm wrong.
Okay, yeah, so yeah. But then again, the Emira, like, when you chuck it around, like, on a track, that thing, it did need, when I was going around Spa, granted, I don't know Spa at all.
Yeah.
So there was people going around who seasoned pros, and I saw people overtaking me at Hyundai i30Ns.
Yeah.
Front-wheel drive, 200, 300 horsepower hatchbacks, but yeah, the Emira probably needed a bit more in a straight line, but you could really, there's plenty of people more talented than me driving.
Like, the thing is, front-wheel drive cars, they're more forgiving.
Yeah.
So you can absolutely...
They're safer.
Yeah.
There's less...
It will understeer compared to...
I remember a comment in my video, someone saying about my seating position, everything being wrong, and loads of people liked it. But yes, I'll take some lessons, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You take lessons on seating positions before you take lessons on driving.
But yeah, okay. Well, hopefully that's the answer for that one. Have you got any?
So yeah, this kind of takes you into the next question. Which one was more fun to drive?
The Emira.
Yeah?
The Emira was more... I mean, the Corvette was maybe easier to get the back out. It probably felt more sort of like traditional sort of front engine, rear driven, sorry.
Yeah.
So it was more fun, again, it's probably easier with an auto box, but yeah, it was more fun.
Yeah. Because even when I drove it, the back end does feel like it just wants to let go a little bit more, but not too much where you need to counter steer it too much. But
I think the Emira is more playful. That's the way I describe it. The Emira is more playful. The Corvette's more I don't know if I want to say hooligan, but that sort of...
but it's forgiving as well because of the size and the wheelbase and everything.
Yeah, it's more comfortable. Wow. I was going to say it's more comfortable, but the suspension on the Emira is just like, it's the best damped car I've ever driven.
Is it?
It was, yeah. I mean...
A lot of money went into the suspension setup on that car.
And it took me ages to work out which one I wanted to get because you can only go for touring or sport. Corvette just does what it says.
Yeah.
I think you can buy like a Magna Ride, which I didn't.
And which one did you go for?
I went for touring.
Makes sense.
For tours, guys.
Yeah.
got to stay on brand. But yeah, I thought I'd take it on a track. I planned on doing one track day, but I ended up doing two. So,
yeah. And the suspension felt fine on the track as well?
Yeah, it did. Again, I'm probably not experienced on track days. I've done a few. I've probably done four or five. But yeah, as I said, I don't do it for my daily job. So.
Yeah. So next thing, which one is more practical to live with on a day-to-day?
Well, I mean, the Corvette had 2 boots.
Yeah.
And it was auto. So you'd probably say the Corvette.
Yeah, had an inbuilt oven in it. If you put food in the back.
Yeah. But the Emira, it's quite handy to put a bag behind your seat. There was no space behind in the Corvette. So yeah, it was quite handy to put things behind. And no, you'd probably say the Corvette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I suppose that the loading bay behind the seats, it probably doubled up as the frunk.
Yeah.
Where the Corvette had the frunk, you could put that in the back.
It was more maybe just on road trips that I thought, I didn't ever pack the car full of stuff.
Yeah.
Other than on road trips. So I always felt like if I've got camera gear or something, it was always easier having it behind me than having to go to the front and do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you'd say Corvette.
Yeah.
You'd say Corvette. So,
just that all of the bits that it comes with, the tech that it has.
The head-up display was brilliant. I do wish it had adaptive cruise. I can't remember the last car that had it, if I'm honest. Well, the Defender I drove had it for a bit, but I haven't... 8 Series, but yeah, another story.
And that's what I was going to say. The last question that we have today is, which car had a better tech?
No question, Corvette.
Corvette.
It was, yeah. I mean, again, like if you speak to old Lotus, I say old Lotus, speak to Lotus owners or like Lotus community.
Yeah.
You know, the Emira is a big step up from. You know, I've never ever looked at the Evora ever.
Yeah.
I love the way the Exige looked, but you know, I'd never done a track day sort of before I had these, or never done a serious one. So, the tech was a big step up. The screen, you know, CarPlay was great. You know, cruise control, modern LED lights. You know, the tech on the Emira was good, but when I got into the Corvette, you know, it just felt, you know, like the wireless charging, the head-up display was brilliant. Like, it just felt like,
Premium.
It felt more premium. Maybe 'cause I did love the lighter interior. I really did. I probably should have selected that on the Lotus, but the tech on the Corvette was just,
But I think the Lotus looked good, like the colour scheme that you had on it. Dark green and black.
Yeah, I didn't like the leather seats. Luckily on the Corvette, obviously I had cooled seats, so it didn't really bother me. But if I had the choice, I would have selected a
Alcantara or
option.
something. Yeah.
But I don't think they offered it. I think they did maybe on the like competition or cup seats, but they're silly money and
So I'm going to just put my last question in there. If you had to pick again and you only had one choice, which one would you buy again?
I'd buy or drive. Emira.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't buy the Corvette.
And is that buying or just buying and driving?
Both. I'd love to try the Corvette C8 Z06.
Yeah.
With that, was it 5.5 litre flat plane crank Ferrari? Yeah, I mean, I'd love to drive that because I think it would be an absolute hooligan. But no, I want to try the i4, and I also hope that they up the power in sort of like the final editions.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll up the power in the i4.
Yeah, they will. I'm sure.
Because that's supposed to be, what, 360, I think?
I think it's 360, but obviously because it's got the dual clutch gearbox, it's quicker in a straight line. So, yeah, I'd like to try sort of like the 430 if they ever do one. But yeah, I'd walk into a Lotus showroom. I mean, they're going all electric, right? So it's going, this will go down in history.
Yeah.
But they have got an E-Ray, which I think is that same engine with electric, but hybrids.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Still want to have a petrol engine as long as we can anyway.
That's it. So, yeah, I guess next part of this will just be sort of me going over where I went. There was one question I was going to ask you, because you came with me to, I picked you up from was it Zurich Airport?
Yep. Yeah,
You've got the clip here. So, yeah, this is pulling up to Zurich Airport and picking you up.
Yeah.
I was late. I think I kept you waiting.
Yeah.
And then we went obviously to where we went to some sort of northwest Austria.
Yeah.
And then we did Stelvio. Gave me a trim.
Yeah.
That was memorable.
That
did
was
well.
something different for me as well.
Yeah, I bet. What's the benefit of doing it in your chair versus?
Just the scenery and you get the fresh airs. It's just different. Whenever you get a chance to experience something new, you might as well make the most of it.
Yeah. So we went there, and then I ended up dropping you to. Had some amazing food, didn't we? By the way, it was one mountain.
Where was that?
Timmeljok, I think it was. We went and had some pasta.
Was it on the Austrian-Italian border?
Yes, just over the border. I think it was the Italian side.
On the Italian side, yeah.
It was, yeah. And then, I dropped you off at Bologna.
Yeah, I see that. I saw that Lamborghini Huracan.
Sterato,
the off-roading one.
Yeah.
That was
Dakar.
sick.
Or 911 Dakar, really.
I'm not a big Lambo guy, but out of them two cars...
I was going to offer you one.
Was you?
No, it's too late now.
No, so I'm not a big Lambo guy, but I would go for the Lambo in that one. I think they just look cool.
They look... I don't know, the Porsche looks less it looks more normal.
Yes. Look at the shape of the car, and they've had off-roading cars in the past.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem it doesn't seem something whoa. But you see a supercar that's been lifted with off-road tires and roof lights and everything.
I haven't driven that newest 992, but I'd like to drive that.
Yeah.
And what did you when you took a picture of that Harris Modena, you didn't
Yes, I didn't even know where it was.
Yeah.
Nor
did I when you said it to me. I had to do a bit of research.
Literally just going through the airport and saw it.
Yeah, based on a C8, I mean, I couldn't have asked. I've got to pretend that I took the Corvette to Italy for a reason, but no.
Was it actually based on the same car as yours?
Yeah. No, apparently, yeah, all the research I've done says that. But that C2, the special old classic Stingray,
and they put the LS in that as well, so that's going to be
that's a
crazy
weapon. V8. I'd love to drive that, but yeah, thank you for your part. I'll sort of go over some of the bits I did or went to, but yeah, thanks for your part.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not needed now, yeah. All right, cool.
I was going to say you go. No, it's me that needs to go.
Yeah.
Back to the studio.
Bit different than my usual video, right? But do like and share if you enjoyed it. Below, you'll see my farewell video in my Lotus Emira, and you'll also see the link to my final video in my Corvette. I wonder what's next?